unfortunately. Again, I don't know if you can see on the cameras, very, very overcast. So this might be a rain-done walk, although it was meant to be one last week, but we managed to avoid the rain then, so who knows what will happen this time. Oh, but it is kind of cold, which is a bit strange because it has been sort of warm. I was hoping that, you know, you'd get some more warmer weather. Certainly very, very different weather to Turkey, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure. A lot colder than it is compared to Turkey. But no, we shall, as they say, continue to soldier on. Like I say, we'll get things good and going along here, but like I say, it is, hopefully the rain will stay away this time for today. Oh, Mick, good morning for you. Oh, sorry, Mike, good morning for you to you. Like I say, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone joining us, like I say. Come on in, settle down. Mark R, good morning to you. Good morning. Waraki Pagan, good morning to you. I doubt we'll see the fox, but maybe. I saw him last week, but bear in mind I was out here a lot earlier. Part of me still running on Turkish time, so I'm still sort of like a couple of hours ahead of everywhere else. Oh. But no, good morning, everyone. Dave W, good morning to you. It's like I said, it's a bit of an overcast morning today, but no, we are all right so far. Like I say, hopefully the weather will keep like this and we'll be all right. But other than that, we are cracking along, as they say. And yes, we'll get started. But like I say, good morning everyone in the chat. Like I say, please do click on the like and share button. Like I say, get more people in. Yeah, get more people up and ready for good morning walk. How's your local badger population? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what the badger population like up here is, Pagan. I generally couldn't tell you. I suspect we've probably got some. Maybe not here because I think we're a bit too, maybe not rural enough. But maybe as you go towards Penistone, maybe that's where you might get some more stuff. Like I say, it's a lot more rural if you go sort of that way towards Penistone. So maybe that might be the case, but like I say, I'm not sure what the case for that might be. Oh, but speaking of Penistone, I think I've alluded to it before, but the constituency next door, like I say, over there, aka Penistone Stocksbridge, is of course the constituency of one Miriam Cates. That's aka one of the Tory right-wing darlings of the far right, praiser of Trump, attender of some really, really weird, you know, Christian nationalist conferences, not only just in America, but here as well. And as I don't know if you saw the video I did about the problem that they are having at Penistone. Isn't that where they filmed a fair bit of Top Gear? I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure if it's there, but it might be. As far as I'm aware, it was a bit more down south. Where they did more of the Top Gear filming. But no, we are out and about today, like I say. Got a nice herd of cows sitting around here for us today. I don't know, that indicates that there's going to be rain. So, I don't know, guys. If you could stand up for it, that'd be a bit more reassuring. Oh dear. But anyway, where were we? Yes, back to Miriam Cates. So obviously she's one of the 2019 intake of Tories as well. And predominantly Penistone has been, again, if you don't know anything about Penistone, always has been very, very much so the more conservative area of Barnsley. A lot more rural in its, I don't want to go this way, we're not trampling through this long grass. A lot more rural in its sort of habits. Predominantly, Maggie Pie, good morning to you. And it's a lot more rural. Very, very big farming population in Penistone. In fact, it is the main employer in that area. Very, very rural indeed. It's, shall we say, where the Conservatives it's where the Conservatives in Barnsley go, shall we say, or shall we say most of them live. Like I say, Penistone Town Council, very, very much sort of Conservative controlled. But if you did watch my video a couple of days ago about how the fact that you've got local grassroots Conservatives not having a clue about what they were doing, well, turns out it's even worse than I thought. Craig, good morning to you. Ben Ridings, good morning to you as well. So, apparently she has 2 people aiding her. Just 2. This is a very, very pro-conservative area, you know, in Yorkshire. So it's, and especially in what is sitting next to what is a very, very strong Labour stronghold, or strongholds, shall we say. Oh. Morning, everyone. Oh. Walking through the herd of ponies. Hang on, let me just... there we go. But it is... Oh. I can see them all. Caught them all napping. But there are a lot of foals out this year. Don't know if you can see them. A lot of foals, there you go. But yes, she's only got 2 people helping her. And even they apparently are not committing their full time to her re-election campaign. And apparently this isn't the exception. This is the norm throughout the country, that grassroots, the grassroots, the people that are meant to go out, volunteer for you, do a lot of the door knocking and etc. They're not turning up to help their Conservative MPs, if at all. There's one infamous story that's doing the rounds at the moment about someone who had signs, like a local CCHQ had in 2019. They couldn't make enough signs for people to put up in their gardens, etc. They were literally flying out the door. You know, they'd get X amount of signs in, they'd fly out the door. So far, bear in mind, the campaign, even though it doesn't feel like it, is halfway through. We are halfway through the campaign. Maybe knocking doors to the Tories will get you egged. Possibly. I'll go 1 second. Hang on. Having this trouble we had last week of where my lining for my jeans is rubbing up against my wellies, and it's causing a bit of a problem. But there we go. But yeah, the local Conservatives, they're not turning up at all for any of the campaign events, only of the like hustings or anything like that. Band of Harper's only halfway. I know it doesn't feel like we're halfway through the campaign, but if you think about it, it's been over 3 weeks. It has been over 3 weeks since the general election got called, and we've now got another 3 weeks of this. And postal votes have now hit the floor. So officially, people are voting. Gary Arnold, good morning to you. So this is it. You've got to remember, at this moment in time, there are people who are probably, if they are doing mail-in ballot voting or anything like that, they are now voting. So bear that in mind, that one of the big key points of the campaign. Oh, the Rusted Dynamo, good morning to you. Jennifer, feels like it's barely started, but I'm glad that we're nearly there. Exactly. It's so bizarre to think that we are halfway through this campaign now. And we've had 2 of the big campaign moments. Nick B, good morning to you. We've had the big campaign moments. You know, we've had manifesto launches. That's one of the big showcase moments of any campaign. And we'll talk about Labour's in a moment. But the Tories was hardly, should we say, hardly groundbreaking. Wasn't gripping anyone's attention. To the point that there were rumours, and I don't know what's happened to it, but there were rumours that the Tory rebels were going to launch their own competing manifesto and try and force Rishi Sunak to actually adopt their manifesto, which, wow, if you thought you've seen a confused campaign now, wait until you had Rishi Sunak trying to answer questions about why he abandoned one manifesto to take up this Tory rebel manifesto. Oh. Esther Brad, good morning to you. Mark Saunders, there's an election. I know there's an election. Not a lot of us can believe it. I don't think many of the Tory MPs can believe it either. One Angry Pagan. I missed the local Tory door knock. Spoke to the Lib Dem one though, and they got to promote. I got to promote Stop the Tories. Vote. Finally, my YouTube comes in handy. Alex Chapman, good morning to you. Anna Frith is going to lose her seat. Southend has been Tory for as long as I can remember. That is probably going to be the story of the night, honestly. Like I say, election night is going to be, it's going to be a Tory loss, but it's how big is this Tory loss going to be? That will be the story of the night, when it comes down to it. And there will be some big Tory losses, I think, when it comes to it. Lots of Portillo moments, maybe even Rishi Sunak potentially losing his seat, because there's a lot of talk about that been happening as well up here as well. And why? Because last week, you may remember I told you, you have the biggest barracks in Rishi Sunak's constituency. You combine that with that D-Day fiasco that he went through. How do you think a lot of those military personnel are going to end up voting? Yep. Don't think it's going to go well for Rishi Sunak. If not, it could be very, very close. But like I say, we'll find out what happens on general election night. Maggie Pike, will Labour keep on hounding disabled and mentally ill people to get back into work? No, I can't really see them doing that, to be honest. Predominantly because one of the things I keep on saying is there is going to be a very, very left-wing progressive bloc in this new Labour government we're going to get, and they are going to push, I think, a lot of progressive policies. I think you can even really see in, Angela Rayner, you can really tell she doesn't want to keep the two child benefit cap. And I think you will see Labour do a lot of things like that. And that will be good, because they'll have pressure put on them by, the progressives in Labour. If they're smart about it and they pick the fights, pick the battles properly, they don't spend all their political capital, on a doomed effort to try and get something when further down the line they might be able to get other stuff as well, which will be helpful. Yeah, I think it's going to happen quite often when all this breaks out, because as much as people want to try and unite it, there is going to be a lot of Labour left in the party, and anyone telling you that there isn't, well, that's because they're not the right type of lefty. There has been a considerable left-wing movement in the Labour Party building up since 2015, wanting to get progressive policies, and left-wing, policy on the Labour sort of agenda. They've been succeeding in that. And yet you get all these people who are up and left. Why? Well, I know it's Corbyn o'clock. But at this time, but a lot of people just left because of Corbyn. That's a personality form around him, and that would have not been very good for a government being power, operating like that. Jess Hunt, Hot Tory on Tory action. Oh, it's going to get even worse. After this election, it's going to get even worse, because one of the things that I brought up recently, which I'm probably going to have to do a video, Tom Tugendhat, Tom Tugendhat has been going and helping his fellow Tory MPs. Now, it just happens to be that apparently these Tory MPs he has been helping out just so also happen to have a very large voting bloc when it comes to the Tory leadership elections. So I'm sure that's just a complete coincidence. But it's not just him. There is also James Cleverly, also now supposedly out on manoeuvres. Like I say, they are now preparing to have a leadership contest, and they are already trying to have a shadow one behind the scenes to get themselves elected. I keep on telling you, but the coming Tory civil war is gonna be amazing. And I've been teasing you, commenting on some of the skirmishes that we've had. But oh boy, when they break out, oh boy, are they going to break out into full blown Tory civil war. It is going to be hilarious on so many fronts. Nope. Alex, Sunak looks absolutely, completely, utterly broken. Oh, absolutely. You're not the only one saying that. Oh, that's something that a lot of people have noticed this week, that Sunak just does not look in the best mood. When I be pagan, Labour's manifesto seems to have gotten some economists mildly enthusiastic. Yep. Jez Hunt, Labour's safe seat here. I might get a leaflet on them. No door knock so far from anyone. Again, depends where you live. Depends where you live, honestly. Nope. Seats that have been Tory since the Victorian might flip. Yep. Ben Ridings, Tory candidate, knocked on my door. I'd invite them in to keep them talking for about an hour. When they asked could they count on my vote, I'd say the safe knowledge that they were, quote, wasted their time. Alex, you think they'll end up with less than 40 seats? God, that would be amazing to see. Mark, but will Starmer allow it if that Labour majority is massive? Yeah, I think he's going to have to. If you've got a massive majority and you want to keep them happy, then you're going to have to throw them a couple of bones. But it's not about, and I would stress this is not about creating chaos like we've seen for the past couple of years. It is going to be about fighting smart battles and using their power when they know it can have the best impact. That is what it's going to be about. You know, it's about picking your battles and fighting it smart. You know, we don't want to be in a situation where you had, again, I don't know how many people are aware of him, but Jimmy Dore, sort of an American right-wing commentator. If you watch the Majority Report, they call him, or they call that side the dumb left. They wanted to force a vote on healthcare. Now, that vote would have ultimately have failed and made healthcare harder to pass in the future. And regardless of that fact, they could not accept that would not work, that was what would be the case. But they kept on banging on about it continuously, and they still do to this day, even though they knew that it wouldn't work. So where we do have a progressive, a really good pro-progressive bloc in the Labour Party, they've got to pick their battles carefully and really build alliances so that they can get progressive policy done. Because if they do that and they do it smartly, then they will be able to achieve quite a lot. And like I say, you are going to have potentially 10 years, if not more, a decade, if not more, of where the Tories just not be able to do anything, potentially even with the Lib Dems as the party of opposition, who themselves have been over the years quite progressive as well. Cavalan, good morning to you. Jane Lockwood, good morning to you. Oh, Maggie Pie, thank you very much for the super chat. Tory is my favourite reality TV show ever. Exactly. Thank you very much for your super chat and your support. But no, I absolutely agree. And honestly, it's only going to get worse. Only going to get worse. If you think you've seen it bad now, wait until after this general election, because oh boy, is it going to kick off. It is going to kick off big style, especially with the fact that some are now flirting with the idea, or should we say openly now calling, because we've had Suella Braverman, and I think we've had Jacob Rees-Mogg call for this as well, of some sort of reform Tory pact, inviting Nigel Farage into the Tory fold as well. Good luck if you want that, because that will just push them even further to right, and it will obliterate the vote even more. Fat Gasm, good morning to you. Just making a cuppa. Jane Lockwood, we just not got complacent. Get out and vote. Exactly. Exactly. We can't be complacent about it. You've got to get out. Make sure you get out there and vote. Otherwise, that's itself going to cause a problem. I wonder what the turnout for this general election is going to be. Typically, in the past, it has been national. The national turnout has been around 65-ish%. So we'll see what happens in the upcoming general election, of course. Oh. Oh, there we go. Like I say, we'll see what happens in the upcoming general election. But what a night that is going to be. Like I say, I know obviously Graham and co are going to be up doing a live stream down in London. I'll probably doing a live stream as well. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Cathlo G, good morning to you. On the way to see James O'Brien. Oh, enjoy. Angry Pagan, I may be a paid up Labour member, but I hope that Carla Daniel wins her seat. Again, if she does, good luck to her. Maybe we'll talk about that more after. Yeah, if you've seen my thing on her recently, I don't think she's going to be very good when it comes to foreign policy. But I've said that I don't know how many times, that a lot of people on the left really not good when it comes to foreign policy. Jess Hunt, Sunak is completely broken, has a completely broken spirit. Oh. Which brings me lots of joy. He's rich, but has the madness that he's never been rich enough, and now he's destroyed his own political career and the Tory party. But at least he's got Sky. Very, very true. Gillian Hope, good morning to you. Rachel Harris, good morning to you. Oh, Ollie, you're promising a good time. Exactly. I always promise the best time. I always promise the best time. Shane, good morning to you. Band of Harpers, ideal time to get PR while the Tories are on their arse. Yep. One of the things that we should really, I think, start is getting that conversation going more in not only just in Parliament, but among MPs as well. And I think maybe not, I think maybe the next Labour manifesto is likely where that is going to be. But to do that, we've really got to start engaging with the Labour Party, start winning the argument when converting more and more Labour MPs over to being pro-PR, because you've got to build that block. I think that progressive block that we've talked about before is what we should be aiming for, absolutely, and trying to get. That will be a very, very good thing to get. Maggie Pie, what the Tories really do tonight right now is a leadership contest. Like I say, if you've... I'll be doing a video about it later, but Tom Tugendhat and James Cleverly already behind the scenes are doing that. Like I say, they just happen to be helping their fellow Tory MPs in constituents who just happen to have a significant amount of votes when it comes to a leadership contest. But yeah, they're just totally helping out their fellow Tories. Just, totally helping out the fellow Tories, guys. Nothing going on. No one's talked anything about leadership at all. Gary Allen, I don't know if tactical voting will work in Chelmsford. Get out there and start talking with your fellow people and about what can happen. Of course, with that will be a very there we go. It's a bit more open terrain. Anyway, let's catch up with the super chat. My neighbour has started annual grinding metal. It's not even 8:30 yet. What's wrong with the people? Maggie Pie, I bet Rishi Sunak is now trying to drink whiskey and crying himself to sleep at night at this point. Would not surprise me. There's also the rumours, again, that we're hearing, but also after this election, we are going to get all the inside information. And one of the things we are hearing is that Rishi Sunak has gone completely rogue. He is ignoring his advisors. He's even ignoring Isaac Lebedev. Like I say, when we get the final behind the scenes, play by play of these people that will come out and say, well, actually, this is what happened behind the scenes. Oh boy, will this probably help explain a lot just what happened. But Sunak going rogue, yeah, I can believe it. I can really believe that. Rishi Sunak must be California dreaming. Oh, absolutely. Gillian Hope, he's a teetotal billionaire. Drinks cola, apparently. Dave Quartermass, telling Dovens where I live, usually there's dozens of Tories or sort of window posters at elections. So far, I haven't seen any. Yep. That's what we're hearing. The grassroots, the Tory grassroots, they are the people that do the vast majority of the work during a general election campaign are not turning up. And predominantly, those people are normally Tory councillors. How do you feel if you are a Tory councillor when you were turning up at the local election, trying to get re-elected to the local council, and you're door knocking, and people are telling you they are not going to vote for you because of the guy in Westminster? How then do you feel after you've lost your seat to go out and campaign for that Westminster dude that lost you your local seat. Yeah, they aren't turning up at all. There is some supreme anger in the Tory party. I'll tell you what, the fact that the Grassroots are not turning up is going to be massively damaging to the Tory campaign. So much. You know, this is going to be one of the contributing factors that I think will lead to their loss. The fact that their Grassroots are just not turning up to do any campaigning or anything like that. Alex Chapman, I work in social housing. Go a lot to a retirement homes. I haven't seen any single Tory voter signs, but plenty of Labour voting ones. Yep. Things have changed. And, oh yeah, the Farmers Weekly poll. Farmers Weekly polled who people are going to vote for. And I think they polled over, what, 15,000 farmers, something like that. Yeah. They ain't voting Tory. And bear in mind, farmers used to be traditionally the areas, or at least people who would overwhelmingly vote Tory. That ain't the case at all. If you saw Liz Webster when she was talking with Graham, last week or a couple of weeks ago now it was, she was telling you how excited, you could see the excitement on her face, how excited she was to have a Labour MP. Like, you could generally see the excitement on her face, and it makes you wonder how that is then being translated to everywhere else. Because if she's coming across that excited as someone who is an activist, who is generally sort of getting out there and campaigning, I think that's probably could be the same, probably for a lot of the rest of the farming community in the UK. Jess Hunt, at least with Sunak's dad being a doctor, his mum being a pharmacist, he can get something to cure the massive butt hurt that is currently affecting him. That's probably very true. Chris Town, it's probably called Sudocrem. Kath OG, the Tories would do well to even get canvassers, as they're in for an absolute rough time on the doorstep. Exactly. Gillian Hope, my Tory MP, putting out some really odd social media, using supporters saying how marvellous she is. It's extremely amateur. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. The rumour is, or at least the going round of the Grassroots rumour that we were talking about just a couple of days ago, is that they are trying to fight local campaigns. And even that is not exactly working, because a lot of them are now having to turn around and say, well, okay, what have you done for me locally? And a lot of them do not have, shall we say, a lot of good answers on that. But we'll see. Oh. I think we're about to be visited by a dog. Oh. Oh. There we go, dashing through. Oh, Sunak is complete salad, no matter how much he tries to denies it. Tell you what, we'll go this way. We'll go this way. Let the dog discipline go on. Anyway, Gillian, not seen any candidates, but a really good leaflet from a Labour candidate. Yep, I've been out doing the leafleting myself. It's been it's been quite good so far. Got me out doing some extra steps. Patrick H, good morning to you. A bit late today. Well, don't worry, we've still got plenty of time left. Today's good morning walk. The Tories are pulling the funding for the Belfast staging of the Euro 28 games. I'm sure that's going to go down incredibly well. Gillian, the Tory leaflet is very small and not even very blue. Doesn't surprise me. We are probably going to hear, after this general election, we are going to hear lots of stories about this. But if you do get a Tory candidate leaflet, please do find a way to share it with me. I'd be very, very interested just to see what they are saying and what they are trying to do at a campaign, because if they are running their own campaigns, I would love to find out what messaging they're trying to send. Oh, Cavalan, good morning. Cavalan, thank you very much for the super sticker. Thank you very much. A Tory's putting Farage in their leaflets. There's only been one. I can't remember her name now. It was... yeah, one Tory has done so far, but I can't remember her name. Can't remember her name for the life of me, what it was. Jonathan Seagulis. Oh, honestly, so many Tories are going to lose their seats. It's going to be fantastic. Ooh, I wonder what. Be big enough. Let's try it. There we go. We'll just sneak through the little gap in the fence there. Patrick H, Tory only Tory leaflet you've had. The Conservative Party name and logo on the back page. Exactly. I think they know just how toxic their brand and name honestly has become by now. Like I say, I want to see these personal manifestos. So if you do get a Tory leaflet, take some photos of it, send them to me over Twitter, Threads, etc. I am on Discord as well, so if you are on Discord, you can send them to me over there. But I would just love to take a look at, like, say, what all these Tories are saying on their leaflets. I'm waiting to see if we get one, because there is a Tory candidate in Barnsley, but they'll show up once and then leave. never to see Barnsley again. Never to see Barnsley again. Maggie Pye, it's probably better to run as an independent as a Tory in many constituencies. Oh, probably. Absolutely, probably better in many of these constituencies. Banjo Harpers, even within the wards canvassing, it's being done where the soft votes are. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if the Tories know that, shall we say, certain areas it's just not even worth going canvassing. With the video that we did, there was the Lib Dem activist who'd said they'd completely forgotten, almost in a way, how to actually campaign. Because it does look like that many of the, shall we say, safe seats are now potentially in play at this Tory election. So That's the other thing we should have. We should have a Tory safe seat counter on election night. You know, how many Tory safe seats do they lose? Compared to, you know, because that will be definitely very, very interesting to see how many safe seats do they lose. That will be an interesting counter to keep, that's for sure. Andrew Jenkins, thank you very much. That was the Tory who's had Farage on her leaflets. Which is quite surprising, but I suppose, you know, she knows her constituencies well. Nope. There we go. Nope. Yep. One finger greeting for Angela. Warm, lovely person, pictured with her bestie Farage. Oh. Loki's children, good morning to you. Very good morning to everyone. A lovely day in Northumberland. Like I say, the clouds are slowly starting to, I don't know if you can tell, slowly starting to disappear. We'll hopefully be saying bye-bye to Rees-Mogg amongst others. God, I hope so. That'll be so hilarious. So hilarious if when he loses his seat. But again, like I say, we'll find out on election night. Seagullists, don't insult seagulls. They're more welcome than Tories in England. That's very true, Maggie. That's very, very true. I would rather a seagull steal my fish and chips than Jonathan Gillis. Julian Hope, Tory leaflets talk about bold action. Again, bold action on what? That's the interesting thing. And plans and supporting local businesses. And what do local businesses think about that? Oh boy. I bet local businesses would have a lot to say about that. Mike Flisher, no more Bill Cash. Yep. Like I say, so many of the Brexiteers are going to be gotten rid of. So many of them are going to be gotten rid of, you know, at the next general election. And even though I do agree with a lot of the criticism about, you know, why aren't we talking about Brexit? Why aren't we talking about this? In the next parliament, we are going to be able to talk about Brexit all we want. Trust me, we're going to end up talking about it. Because that was, I think, the plan all along. You win the general election, you don't talk about Brexit, but then once you're in, well, now remember, you've cleaned the floor. There's no more Brexiteers, there's no more European Scrutiny Committee controlled by Brexiteers that can just, you know, stop conversations in their tracks from happening, having expert witnesses come along, etc. We are going to have a lot of conversations within the next parliament about Brexit. Make no mistake. We are going to have a lot of conversations about Brexit, that's for sure. Ben Ridings, I've had a lot of Tory leaflets through my door. They are all surprisingly abhorrent. Again, doesn't surprise me. And a new hospital that probably hasn't even been built, was already built, or in the process of being built. I bet that. Scottish independence supporters telling me that the English need an independence movement as well. What a great way to give Farage a bit of platform. Plus, isn't that a bit BNP? Yes, but, well... Can we have a virtual celebration tea party when Jacob Rees-Mogg loses seats? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I plan to be doing an all-night stream during parts of it, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I say, I do plan to be up all night, but be interesting to see what happens. Catho G, thanks. Good weekend all. Also, we'll see you again next week, Catho G, if you're going to go. But hey, at that point, 2 weeks to go until voting. 2 weeks to go until voting. Oh my word. Patrick H, take a drink whenever a 10k Tory majority is overturned on election night. That might end up being quite deadly. That might end up being quite deadly indeed. Farage wants to debate with Starmer. Of course he does. Of course he does. And of course you then get into things about, well, do you give him the platform? Do you allow him to run away with all that stuff? Again, I don't think Starmer should give him the platform at all. Just let him cry about not getting a platform. Let him continue on in those massive, ridiculous leadership debates. Honestly, I think eight, is it 8 or 7 that are the people on that stage? I still think it's just too many. Just too many, or they need to completely change the format of them somehow. I think that would be much, much better. En route to Barnsley, has the sun come up last? It has. I don't know if you can see behind me. The sun is definitely coming up. The clouds do now appear to be clearing at least. But it is still a bit cloudy at the moment. Don't do it, alcohol poisoning may occur. Well, exactly. It's a risk worth taking. Matt Spratt, good morning to you. Oh, Gillian Hope, thank you very much for the super sticker. Thank you very much for your support there. Maggie Pye, Tory levelling up will go down in history as the biggest joke in British political history. Oh, not only just that, but the biggest lie in British political history. I mean, right from the word go, we'd already seen the Northern Powerhouse idea spun by Cameron Osborne. That didn't work. If they had actually followed through on it, just as if Boris had actually followed through on it, they might not have been in this situation, but it was reliant on them actually spending the money in these constituencies. And of course they never did. The levelling up white paper, as we talked about many times, first 2 chapters, oh my God, what is this? The Tories absolutely bang on the money what has been the problem in many of these northern seats. And then you get to the 3rd chapter, which was the Treasury chapter, which Rishi Sunak was in charge of. And of course, slashing, not even putting the money necessary in to do it. Maybe they'll learn a lesson from that. Blue Badger 88, good morning to you. Hi Ollie, hope it's a nice walk today. It has been quite a nice walk today. Locust Children, Britain is better in Europe than out of it. Yep, absolutely. Gillian Hope, Tory leaflet, talks about delivering concrete solutions. Ask your Tory candidate, where exactly is that concrete? I don't think they've had any concrete solutions at all. Jez Hunt, what if it doesn't happen? What if Labour get in and they continue to not criticise Brexit and shut down progressive ideas? They won't. They literally will not be able to. You cannot just continue to ignore this. We've seen, even the opposition, talking about Brexit. And of course, even other opposition parties have talked about Brexit. And if the Lib Dems become the party of opposition, they're not going to stop talking about Brexit. You cannot stop these solutions because the Conservatives have not wanted to talk about it because that is their ideological path. So far, Labour have not shown any inclination that, they are on that same ideological path. You've got Keir Starmer saying, he's going to engage with Europe. He's going to try and improve these things. Well, in a way, that is sort of Starmer talking about Brexit without talking about Brexit. But, they've got a lot of work to do. They've got an absolute ton of work to do if they win. And Starmer is right. They have to, deliver. They've got a lot of work to do once they get in. It's not just around Brexit. It's about the economy, social care, the NHS, everything. All these problems they are going to have to try and solve. And it's going to be incredibly difficult. So, it is going to be a lot of problems as well. And I think you had, I can't remember who said it now, but I think it was maybe not Andrew Jenkins, Angela Rayner, who said, we're going to have times where the stuff that we want to do, but we can't just because of how the economy is and things like that. And I've said it before, in politics, you do not get everything you want. And you've got to really push for the stuff that you've got. And this is where having groups internally within Labour pushing for these things is what makes the difference. So I do have a lot of hope that is going to happen. And like I say, so far, we'll judge them by the record. We'll judge them by the record when they're in power. But I know that. I see a lot of people saying that as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Labour actually start to deliver, how they're going to spin that when that happens. So, yeah, we'll see. Just been dealing with the little ones. They're really agitated though. Missed the rest of the morning walk. Well, don't worry, you were able to watch it back, of course, after the stream is over, so don't worry about that. Why not join Politics Social for your live stream? Well, like I say, I do occasionally go on there. Of course, I've got Geoscope as well. On Thursday, we're going to have a guest, which will be quite fun. We're going to sort of trial having a guest on with us as well for future guest appearances as well, which I think will be quite good. So yeah, there's a lot of, I think, stuff going ahead, going forward. So now I'm looking forward to it. We'll have some fun, as I say. Maggie Pie, don't do an all-nighter. You'll need your beauty sleep. Well, thank you very much. But I'm going to have a pre-nap, I think, on election night. Just there's no way you would make it through without no sleep at all. Incredibly difficult. Cavalan, first rule of Tory Fight Club, you do not talk about Brexit. Exactly. Labour leaflet had a quote from a former Tory councillor. They were booted out of the council recently. Gillian Hope, inspiring me to go for a walk, even though it will be in a town. No, I'm a big believer. Go for a walk, even if it's 5-10 minutes. Honestly, go for a walk. it will do you the world of good. Gives you exercise, gets your body moving. It's honestly something really good. I'm a big advocate of going for a walk. Like I say, you don't have to go on an hour's walk like me. 5 or 10 minutes will do you just as good as well. Yep. Right, level up now with this less money. They were all just liars. Yep. Country should have a party when they're kicked out. I think there is. I think there's going to be a lot of celebrating. Yes, those debates have been very interesting. Welsh and Scottish National Party. Welsh and Scottish National Party is very progressive. The English National one, the Tories and Reform, quite the opposite. Yep. If Boris Johnson was actually serious about levelling up, but he ran into a Tory treasury, so Rishi. Blue Badger, different biases. Phil's big worry about a massive outbreak has now happened. Bit confirmed about what has caused it, but they will get a national board of food poisoning event, supermarkets and sandwich E. coli. Yes, I've seen that as well breaking out this morning, the big E. coli recall from sandwiches and things like that. But, Phil's not the only one. I've said it before. It wouldn't be surprised me if there's an outbreak that happened. Obviously, we've been talking about a swine flu outbreak as well. That would be a disaster if that breaks out. But given the fact that you've got absolutely piss poor border controls at the moment, it's not surprising, of course. So, doesn't surprise me in the least. Morning.
Morning.
Maggie Pie, my very Tory mate yesterday, don't think the Tories want to win the election. I don't think they want to win it either. I don't want to think they win it either. Right about independence for all members of the UK. Yeah, it's true. Independent Yorkshire. That's like say Republic of Yorkshire. I mean, Yorkshire's got a very strong case for independence. Andrew Neil this week complaining about Brexit damage from France. Yep, I know the irony. Yeah, if Conservatives had any good ideas, they wouldn't need to be Conservatives. Well, yeah. Blue Badger, he needs somebody spending his time saying that these issues need fixing and then launching an investigation to why all screaming Brexit. Then this mandate will give him a massive clearance to resolve it. Yep. Like I say, there are a number of reasons that we've talked about in the past about this and why you can do this. One of the big reasons is that Starmer can go forward. He can say he's, quote, improved Brexit, but then he can go back to the country and say, well, hey, look, this is Brexit. This is as best as it is ever going to be. Are you sure you really want to continue with this? I think that seems to be the plan, to be honest, the direction that we seem to be going. Gary Arnold, I think people will pay more for a bit more tax for good public services. Yep, absolutely. The polls even show that as well. Yeah, Gary, but those not on low incomes. Exactly, you're going to have to. Even I think Rachel Reeves, she's going to raise taxes on rich people because when you go for, where do you want extra money? It's going to be people on higher incomes. You're going to have to see a big rise on things like dividends and things like that. I think we'll end up seeing those because I think Rachel Reeves, she's going to want to bring in the money from somewhere. And, there are places where she can get that money from. Closing the non-dom and sort of tax loopholes is going to be a start, but it's going to happen sooner or later, I think. Phil said that moderate Tories should back PR. Thoughts? Oh, absolutely, they should back PR. There is actually, if you saw my video yesterday about the guy who was doing we shouldn't switch to PR. There are a number of Tories who are actually quite pro-PR. Who knows? Maybe this time in opposition might change a lot of ideas about PR in the Tory party. Maybe they'll come around thinking, oh, actually, PR might be a good idea. Who knows? Sarah Davis, good morning to you. You know, yep, naps are essential. Hang on. Lucas Children, I'm loving the long-term planning and thinking from Labour. Yes, yes. This is one of the things I've kept on saying about this. The fact that Labour are thinking long-term planning is going to be so good. It is going to bring a lot of positive change, because you're not going to have, well, if we do this now, we'll get a quick boost. But then what about in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 20 months time, you know? The fact that you are going to have a lot of long-term thinking is going to be massively important for the UK. Duke Vengeance, I will not be able to stay up all night, maybe up until 2 p.m, but after that I'll probably be asleep. True, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to last, but we'll see. Jez Hunt, you currently have a 2.5 mile walk each way for the job that you're currently on. I know it's making me very healthy, but it killed me for the first couple of weeks while on a 12-hour work day too. Yeah, like I say, you know, if you want to build up and do more walking, start with short walks and just build up. You know, do like a 5-minute walk for the first week, 10-minute walk for the second week, and just keep on going further and further and further, and you'll just improve, you know, as your body sort of gets used to it. Yeah, more worried about swine flu. Yeah, I do worry that there will be a swine flu outbreak. I really do. You look how bad the border checks are. And it's not just swine flu. There's a possibility maybe bird flu as well with some of that stuff as well. That could also prove to be a big problem. You know, there's a lot of stuff to worry about these border checks, and we've talked enough about them. Why the importance you need to have good, strong border checks. Oh. Anyway, so thank you everyone for joining me today. It has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me. I don't think I've missed anything. Nope. Just double checking. But anyway, thank you very much for everyone for joining me on today's Good Morning Walk. It's actually been quite a very nice morning walk indeed. I thought it was going to rain. Turned out no. So that's been quite good. So thank you very much everyone for joining me today. Please do remember to click the like and share button on your way out. Leave a comment as well. That will also help with the algorithmical things as well. Down below there are things to help support the channel as well. The Buy Me a Coffee link, the Patreon page, the Pony Club as well. If you want to join the Pony Club, that also helps the channel with the YouTube subscription. But thank you very much everyone for joining me today. And of course, as always, we'll see you next weekend. Well, we'll be another week down, and that time will be 2 weeks to go. Can Sunak actually go a week without a gaffe? I don't think so. But we'll see what kind of crazy nonsense happens next week. But I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. But have an absolutely fantastic day. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Go out, enjoy yourselves. And as always, if you can't be safe, be sensible at least. And of course, we will see you next weekend for another Good Morning Walk. So until then, we'll see you all very soon.